teach yourself to get out there, to get out of your own way and do what scares you while you're scared. I talk often with a lot of people. You got a lot of different situations going on in your life, but fear is one of the biggest ones that holds us back. And fear makes us do habits that we don't want to do. So we consciously have a desire to do one thing, but then our fear puts us into our comfort zone. We stay what's comfortable to us. We stay doing what's comfortable for us instead of doing what terrifies us while we're scared, while we're terrified, while we're scared if we're going to say it right, while we're scared if it's going to look right, while we're scared if it's going to come out right. And I'm here to tell you, after 3 years running my own business, after helping businesses for the last 18 years as a coach, as a mentor, as somebody that's been helping people, I know that you have to take action while you're terrified. While you literally feel like you're going to throw up, puke terrified. You have to take action in the moment that terrifies you, not after, not some moment after it feels good. You know, in the Bible, Jesus asked Peter to step out of the boat while the storm was going, not after the waters were clear. He didn't say when you feel good enough to do that. And I see that as such an example for people in business. And yet they're waiting until they feel good enough before even posting on Facebook, because they're worried about how they look to people, how they sound, how they are going to be judged by everybody, the judgment that comes in. Listen, the judgment's going to get a whole lot worse the more you build stuff. And so you better build the calluses right now mentally that can handle it and do what terrifies you while you're terrified. Think about, what are you scared to do in your business right now? What scares you? Is it leaving your job? Is it posting on social media? Is it making videos? Is it doing something because a family member or a friend said that you couldn't? Do you not feel good enough? Are you worried about losing money or wasting time? Whatever that thing is, wherever your fear is, points you to the direction of the thing that you have to do in your business. Every single time. It's literally like a map. If you look at, okay, here, over here, I'm not quite so scared of this. Oh, this terrifies me. Oh, I'm not quite so scared of this. Leaning into the terror, leaning into the fear, and doing what psychs you out so much that you are scared out of your wits, and doing that thing points you in the right direction of what's going to produce results for you in your business. It's like a compass. It actually works that way. It's really fascinating. And so we lean into the resistance. We lean into what scares us. Don't come at me with some kind of religious belief that the resistance is a sign that you're not supposed to do it. That's a big lie that some people tell themselves. That because there's resistance, oh, it means it wasn't meant to be. Because I'm scared, it means it wasn't meant to be. That's not the case. If you know that you know that you know that you're called to something, that you're supposed to do something, it's going to require you to take a step of faith. It's going to require you to do something scary. It's going to require you to step out and do what terrifies you and walk on water. Like I said, Jesus didn't tell Peter to wait until he felt good enough and safe enough and secure enough before stepping out and moving forward. The dogs of doom lie at the door of your destiny. That's true. So are you going to stop in front of the dogs of doom? Are you going to let them stop you? Or are you going to move past them and walk past them like you own the place? Way too many people let their life pass them by and allow fear and worry of what other people think about them. Or here's one that I love. They justify it by saying that they have standards of excellence. I love this one. And they're using wisdom. So they justify it as a good thing, and they relabel their terror and fear as a good thing that they're obedient to. a standard of excellence. No, you're just afraid that people are going to think you're not good enough. That's why you're not putting anything out there. That's what perfectionism is. It's not a standard of excellence. It's fear and worry about how others are going to judge you. You can't let that stop you. Oh, I'm using wisdom. I hear this one from people. It's not wisdom to sit around and do nothing because you're not sure if it's perfect and the right thing. That's fear. It takes faith to move forward. Oh, and by the way, faith is risk. And risk usually doesn't look so wise to the people that are not doing it. Do you think it looked wise for Peter to step out of the boat when Jesus called him to? No, it looked stupid. And yet so many people are afraid of doing the wrong thing, making mistakes, things not going how they want them to. They're afraid of stuff messing up, them failing, wasting time. Oh, here's another one. I just don't want to be a bad steward of my time, so I will do nothing so that I feel like I'm being a good steward of my time, so that when I finally do something, I'll be effective with my time. There's all these messages that we tell ourselves for why we're afraid to stay stuck where we're at. And you'll stay stuck for years trying to justify this stuff. You'll even fight for it. I have seen people fight and argue for their limitations and call them immovable mountains, things that they can't move, things that they refuse to move because they love them and it's their comfort zone, but then they have a goal. See, here's the other thing. If you don't have a goal to do something great and big and all that, that's fine. Like, I'm not trying to guilt anybody here. I'm not trying to make you feel inadequate at all. But if you have a goal, let's say you have a goal to build a business to $1 million, and then you're just sitting around doing nothing and calling it wisdom and the process and patience, I'm sorry, that's fear. That's terror. You're letting your fear control you. You're letting your terror control you. I see this often. People are afraid to ask a mentor for help because they don't want to look stupid. They want to feel it's a dopamine hit. It's a chemical high that they feel from doing it all themselves and never getting help from anybody. And you'll live in the hamster wheel for 3, 5, 10 years, never asking for help because of that dopamine hit of feeling like, oh, because I figured it all out on my own, for some reason, that gives you extra cash and prizes at the end of the rainbow is what people think. I hear and see all of this from people. And I used to believe this way too, by the way, my friends. I used to think this way. I used to have this mindset. All of this stuff that I'm sharing with you right now is literally the mindset that I had 5, 6 years ago, even 3 years ago, even 2 years ago. And I've had to work through this with good mentors, good counsel, good books, good teaching, getting into the Bible, learning from the Word of God. Don't let your fear keep you stuck right where you are. I'm telling you, your destiny, your goals, the things that you're going after are on the other side of your fear. Exactly. Everything we want is on the other side of fear. And if you need some help, if you need some strength through that, pray. Say, God, walk with me through this. Walk with me through the valley of the shadow of death, so that I will fear no evil. Far too many people are letting their fear be their God. They're letting their terror control their life when they've been called and born to do something. And they will even justify it as good based on beliefs and experiences that they've had in their life. It's time to step out of the boat. It's time to step out of your comfort zone. It's time to do what scares you. It's time to take action doing what terrifies you while you're terrified. What's stopping you from doing that? Let me know. I'd love to hear it. I'd love to talk with you about that. If you've never scheduled a free 15-minute call with me on my website, jeremiahkrakowski.com, I'd love to hear from you more. Let's talk soon. You can schedule that call on my website, jeremiahkrakowski.com, and we'll talk soon. Have a good one, everybody.